Have you ever wondered, looking at the works of photographers like Edward Weston, Ansel Adams, Henri Cartier-Bresson, or Peter Lindbergh, what is so special about it? What did they do so different that they became the greats of photography? When I started learning photography 10 years back, I was introduced to the works of great masters of 20th century photography by my sir, Dr. O.P. Sharma, who himself was a great portrait photographer and pictorialist in India during the mid and late 20th century. I was blown away with their work, especially the black and white silver gelatin prints that I saw. Since then, I've been following their work, and it has been a great source of inspiration for me every now and then. I love looking at their photographs, knowing about them, how they lived, how they worked, what they thought. It has not only motivated me during my bad days, but also helped me understand that every photographer has a different meaning for photography or art, which makes it so beautiful and interesting. For some, it could be about storytelling, and for some, it could be about expressing their feeling. Their idea about photography or art could be different, but there are few things which I find common in everyone, which is what this video is all about. So, without further ado, let's talk about 5 things that you need to become a great photographer. First is purpose. Having a purpose means having a reason for why you are doing what you are doing. And in case of photography, it's important to know what is your purpose for photography, why did you choose photography, and what makes you pick up your camera and shoot. Different people have different answers to the why of what they are doing, and which is okay. There are no set rules that you have to follow. It totally depends on what matters to you the most, but having a purpose is important. Firstly, it gives us a validation that we are on the right path, and secondly, it helps us to stay on the path that we have chosen without getting distracted easily. The purpose of a war photographer or a documentary photographer could be different from that of a landscape photographer and a portrait photographer. For a photographer who wants to document the social, political, and cultural unrest in the country, going out in the mountains and shooting the serene beauty of nature could be a trivial thing to do. So our purpose could be different or even contradictory, but I feel that's fine until we stay true to our purpose. It is also important to have a purpose if you want your photographs to be more than just beautiful pictures. If you want them to be meaningful and you want those pictures to have an impact on the hearts and minds of your audience. It is also important to have a purpose if you want to develop a photography style, which we talk about so much these days. Second is vision. Having a vision in photography means knowing what you want to say through your photographs. Two people practicing same genre of photography can have totally different visions. For example, if you see the work of photographers like Robert Frank and Saul Leiter, they both explored street photography, but their work is totally different from each other. What our photographs feel or look like depends a lot on how we think and feel inside. How a photographer sees the world outside depends a lot on the world inside him. Our thoughts, emotions, and feelings keep changing with time, so our vision also keeps evolving, which I feel is a beautiful process. My vision has also evolved drastically over a period of 10 years. What I was shooting 5 years ago is totally different to what I'm shooting right now. I'm roaming around in the same neighborhood with the same camera around my shoulder, but now my mind's eye is attracted towards newer and different subjects which I was not interested back then. Our vision develops through what information we put inside our mind through watching movies, reading books, or listening to music. Our past experiences also shape our vision. That's why two different people always have two different visions because they have led two different lives. No two people have same vision. Everyone is different and unique. Therefore, it is important to value your uniqueness and have faith in your vision because it is unique and beautiful in its own way. Third is honesty. Honesty means being honest about what you want to create as an artist. Today on the internet, we see hundreds of images per day. When you're consuming so much content, it is very easy to get influenced by it a bit too much. So much so that you start losing the uniqueness of your own vision. It is good to be inspired and motivated by looking at some great work, but it is also important to stay true to your own vision and purpose as an artist. If you stay honest about what you want to create, even though the people around you may be demeaning or critical about your work, you end up creating work which is a reflection of who you really are, and this is what being an artist really means. For example, Saul Leiter, the era which he belonged to, had a very strong belief that color photography was not for serious photographers. It was considered that black and white film was the right choice for professionals and the ones who wanted to do serious work. But he continued shooting on color film and now his work stands out and he is considered a pioneer of color photography. Fourth is practice. This is the most obvious and the most important thing if you want to excel in photography or any other art form, because art requires practice. I feel practice is the most overlooked thing with photographers, unlike other artists. We see dancers, singers, musicians practicing their skills every day, or what they call riyas. But when it comes to photographers, I feel they don't practice enough. Initially, we do when we are starting out, but with time, when we start getting work, we don't practice enough. This is one habit which I feel everyone, including myself, should inculcate in our daily routine, be it going out on the streets to shoot, doing a test shoot with a model, or even traveling to a new place once in a while. It also keeps us fresh and inspired. And I feel doing this kind of personal work in the form of practice also helps in building up a portfolio to attract future clients. For example, in my case, a lot of queries that I get, the clients show me my own personal work as a reference for what they want. Practicing consistently also helps in developing your own style of photography, because when you keep practicing and keep reviewing your work, you're able to identify what is working for you and what is not. Fifth is love for photography. Fifth, and the most important thing which will make everything above doable, is your love for photography. Because when you love something and you do it, it doesn't feel like work. If you're passionate about something, you just want to improve your work and be better and better at it. Waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning in winters to capture some photographs in that beautiful golden light won't feel difficult because of the sheer joy that you get out of creating photographs. Time just flies away during those photo walks. Your love for photography would also grow when you start improving in it and you start getting appreciation for it. The key is to learn and try new things. Also, when you're doing it for the love of it, it doesn't matter if you get recognition or not. It is important to realize that recognition is not guaranteed even if you have great work. There are a lot of other things which matter too. For example, Vivian Mayer, a street photographer, she photographed regularly for over 50 years, only to get recognized by the photography community after her death. This is only possible when you love something so passionately and just enjoy doing it. So, these were the few things that I feel one needs to have if he or she wants to become a great photographer or even grow as a photographer. So, guys, this was it. Thank you for watching this video, and guys, see you in the next video. Till then, relax, enjoy, and keep shooting. Cheers.